Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope y'all are doing well and enjoying your day so far. Just a few days into this Vanguard beta, it seems Shotzzy has already discovered a pretty crazy movement mechanic which may be able to be used this year in competitive play to kind of add to the arsenal of ones that he's found these last several seasons. But also, lots of talk about Los Angeles Thieves and whether their search and destroy could be a liability this season. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new as always, I would greatly appreciate it. Really upset the channel. Thank you very much indeed for doing that. First of all, just wanted to run through a couple of clips from previous titles on Shotzzy doing some ridiculous stuff. This year on Gunrunner in Modern Warfare, I never really figured out how he managed to make that slide happen so smoothly as he did. I mean, this of course is also in Modern Warfare when one of these clips comes out from Crone on the 7th of May back in 2020. Sliding, dodging, diving around. I mean, this guy's absolutely out of control. There were so many nice movement clips that he had, of course, in this title Modern Warfare where he won the MVP for the season. I mean, look at these slide cancels right here. You can't beat this type of stuff. And, well, then also in this title in Cold War, right, when he did some crazy things, especially this part of the map. Like, he had this clip early in the title on, well, what is this, of course, Garrison Control against a lot of Royal Ravens, but even like, oh my god, he nearly killed Alex as well, but yeah, even like later in the year as well, he was doing some crazy things in this position as well, pops a 3Ps, and there's just finessing all over the park. So yeah, Shotzzy, we know his movement coming over from HaLy is truly something else, and in this title already, even by accident, it feels like he's discovering things. This is way back in the day actually when Huke was still on the Dallas Empire. Wow, crazy to think about. I mean, look at this clip right here when Shotzzy just completely finesses Parasite. That's it's difficult to deal with a situation like that. But yeah, I mean, this is just what this guy does on the regular. It seems like he's kind of discovering new things already here in, well, Call of Duty Vanguard. As you can see, this is a clip from him playing the beta a couple of days ago. He takes up this man, I think this is Hotel Royale or something. I can't exactly remember what all the maps are called. But yeah, effectively just runs on this little ledge on the wall. Now, I don't really think he 100% intended to do this, but I'll play on the big screen for you guys here in just a second. But there's this little ledge on the wall here, and I wonder how common these are across other maps. And of course, we've only played a few maps here in the beta. There could be some additional maps that come into play, but it seems like this little ledge that he was on, he managed to jump on and like run, effectively do some wall running before like jumping off. I mean, this guy must have been absolutely mind-blown that he killed. Like what he saw from his perspective must have been ridiculous. But yeah, supposedly if there's some sort of ledge in the game that you can maybe like get on top of, even if it's unintentional, if you practice this, and I'm sure some of the pro players and Shotzzy especially will be doing so, could well actually do some wall running like we're playing Black Ops 3 and Infinite Warfare once again in well, in a boots on the ground title. So yeah, really interesting to see. I don't know how Shotzzy discovers these type of things, but yeah, maybe the pros can use this to effect to actually get some sort of advanced movement into the game, which well, could add the skill gap to more than we already have. And well, that's the thing with Shotzzy. He definitely, well, uses the movement skill gap in any way it possibly can be used to, well, to his advantage.
What the f did I just do?
What the f did I just do?
Speaking of Shotzzy, then there was a fair bit of talk a few days ago about what exactly might go on with Methodz here in this league. Of course, Rostermania is very much up in the air right now. And while Shotzzy was talking about Methodz and kind of his perspective on Methodz as an individual, because a fair bit of discussion these last several days and weeks, really every time the flank is on, it seems like there's talk about could Methodz get a spot in the league. There's rumours, of course, that Seattle Surge are going down the route of accuracy, Pred, Sib, and Mac. So there's, you know, talks about kind of building around a veteran assault rifle with some young up-and-coming players. And Methodz could find himself in a similar spot. There's talk about, okay, could Methodz go to whatever the Chicago spot is going to be? Could he go, for example, to you know, to the Paris Legion or whatever's going to go on over there? It's difficult for a guy like Methodz to find himself way back into the league. I'm really happy that he's killing the content game as well on stream right now, so he doesn't necessarily have to be too concerned if he doesn't get a spot. His complete livelihood isn't on the line in that sense. But of course, he still wants to, you know, compete at a high level and be a professional player because, you know, the competitive drive does not go away. So Shotzzy has to say right here about his experience playing against Methodz in 8s and previous titles and stuff like that. I think he's actually a very solid player and certainly does deserve to be in the league. And of course, despite what your opinions are on Methodz and whether he does deserve it or not, definitely the opinions of Shotzzy have some weight when you consider like the caliber of player that he is as a Call of Duty player.
Who we talking about? We're talking about Zinni. I think he deserves to be in the league. That's just me though. I think he's good enough to be in the league. 100%. 1,000,000%. Like, it's not like he's bad, bro. That's the thing, dude. Like, I would understand like him not getting picked up because he's bad. But like, bro, if you watch him play 8s, which I played against him in 8s, like he's not bad at all. Like, he's actually quite good.
So to bounce around just a little bit more, we've gone from Shotzzy, we've gone to Methodz, now we're going from Methodz to Los Angeles Thieves. As he says right here, of course, unrestricted free agents. I think he went on to confirm that Toronto were kind of like just giving him some options to do what he wanted. And I'm pretty sure if Methodz doesn't find a spot, Toronto might just consider bringing him back on as their substitute player for the upcoming season, because it kind of worked out for them this year when they subbed him out for Insights, even though I'm not really sure what sub changes they're going to try and make. But Methodz has been a pretty good face of their brand, to be honest, the last couple of years. And even on like billboards and stuff, Methodz still finds himself on there, so it makes sense maybe Toronto to keep him if he can't find a spot elsewhere. But yeah, he does believe that he can still get a spot in the CDL, and Shotzzy seems to agree that he does indeed deserve a spot somewhere. But well, this is what he had to say a couple of days ago about, of course, the Los Angeles Thieves lineup, and well, his confidence as to whether this team can actually work. Of course, look, there's so many incredible teams. There's a lot of discussion I noticed in the comment section below a couple of days ago about which of these teams are going to be overrated, which of these teams are going to perform, which of these teams aren't. Because on paper, so many of these squads we're seeing actually form, but also rumored squads behind the scenes are very deadly and could win championships. At the end of the day, though, you've got FaZe, you've got Toronto, still right up there at the top of the pecking order, trying to continue the dominance from previous seasons. And if your team has like any weakness at all, that's the thing with FaZe last year and pretty much with Toronto as well. They were really good at all the game modes, all the maps, pretty much. Like, they had an incredibly deep map set, especially FaZe, like towards the end of the title, where they could just body you on Apocalypse, despite when Apocalypse first came in, they weren't necessarily too good at it. And this is the thing with a team like Los Angeles Thieves. On paper, their respawn should be absolutely disgusting, but their search and destroy, it seems, for Methodz is actually a bit of a question mark, even though statistically this past year that may well not be the case.
Happy I ended up here and think this is my best chance to win.
Yeah, no, I definitely think it is a really good chance to win. I think the team is really, really good. Zen, I want to get your opinions now that you're here. What do you think about the new LA Thieves roster?
I think it's a great respawn team. I mean, I'm a little worried about search. Not like you guys are like a bad search team, but like, I don't know. I don't think your roster, I mean, just to be blunt, really good respawn team. My only worry is search.
Wait, really?
Yeah, Sam's costed me in search quite the amount of time. So
literally had 115 last year. All good though.
He's following me up, right?
Literally top 5 KD last year. All good though.
But no, it's a good roster, man. I mean,
yeah.
I'm excited to see.
Year, did they forget?
I'm excited to see Drazah. Like, obviously, like everybody knows you three. I think Drazah even said in like your guys' announcement video, right? He's like excited to show everybody what he can do, and like,
so usually I do agree that Octane is kind of phenomenal in the respawn game modes, but in search and destroy it's been a little bit questionable. But we can look at some of the search stats from this team over this past season from the Lion Man card, so you can see right here. So yeah, full 2021 CDL season. You can check all these out, of course, in the description box below. Scroll through Lion Man's Twitter, it's an absolute minefield of beautiful cards like this. But yeah, of course, Seattle Surge, Octane 11 and 25, not exactly spectacular, but actually his search and destroy this year was probably the best it's ever been, to be honest, at least from what I can remember. Octane got way better in search this year. He had a number of takeover maps. He actually 99 rated in terms of kills per round this year, which is very impressive indeed. First Blood's pretty up there as well, like 46 and 37, so pretty impressive. And yeah, so many stats that really point to the direction that yes, the respawn should be good on this team, no doubt, but also the search and destroy should be no slouch, because there certainly is some concern what the calls are going to be. Envoy was talking a couple of days ago on that same flank episode actually about that he was having to be the one to call a lot of the shots for OpTic Chicago, and he kind of felt sometimes like, someone else do something, someone else call something, I can't be relied on for like to make every single call in all the search and destroys, and that maybe this year like he'll get some help on that front from Octane, Kenny and Drazah, and they'll kind of do their own thing in that sense. Jake Ebber's coach might be able to help along those lines as well on Los Angeles Thieves. So certainly, even though search and destroy could be a worry, I think in previous seasons it might have been, but just based on the performances this past year, I think that search and destroy actually should be pretty good. We see this from Kenny as well. He is a 1.4 over there, 1.04, sorry, over the entirety of the season. His hard points, kills per 10 minutes, damage per 10 minutes, absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, the respawn, the pressure from this team in the respawn is going to be phenomenal. Like, Octane is not a particularly slow assault rifle. Kenny is an incredibly quick and aggressive AR. And then we've got Drazah and Envoy who are no slouches either, especially with something to prove, as they have talked about over these last couple of days. Drazah as well at a 1.05. Technically, that was his best game mode this season, at least in terms of KD. Damage around and first blood pretty good as well, given the amount of time that he plays on this squad, not necessarily too long compared to some of these other individuals. And not a bad rating at all, given his role on the team, of course, as that kind of SMG for a time. For a time, he was kind of almost the main AR on the team when Kenny ran that role, but really it was Kenny being hyper-aggressive and Drazah being the one more often than not playing for the spawns. And of course, this from Envoy, right? Despite his objectives per 10 minutes in hardpoint being his kind of standout statistic, he had some really good moments in search and destroy. Of course, there were some questions this year about Envoy's search, in terms of like, does he make the right plays all the time? Like, are these flanks actually working out? Are they too easy to read? Like, there were some questions, but I'm sure they can work it out this time around. And again, if we look through the KDs for search and destroy, despite Methodz what I had to say, and of course, it's not only KD related. But it's not like this team is a weak search team on paper. You got a 1.03, a 1.05, a 1.04, and a 1.13 from Mr. Samuel Octane LaRue. Just to finish off with this, I thought was absolutely hilarious. I saw the Reddit here, Douglas wearing a wire again from YouTube Infinitive. This is, if you guys remember a few years ago, I think it was back in the World War II days. This is a story that probably not many people know, and I'll kind of give you guys the brief rundown on it. But effectively, there was some drama going on where a lot of the pro teams, right at the start of the year, had to play all these like online pro point matches just to get their pro points so they would have enough points to get good seeding at some of the major tournaments. And these pro points were just you go on game battles and play against any random guys that were playing, and if you won, you get like your 25 pro points or whatever, or your 5 pro points, and that was, you play like 5 of them, and that's enough for the day. Now, there was some talk about some of these teams like ringing these matches or getting other players to play for them, and like maybe just faking wins in these games or something, as it was kind of irrelevant for a pro player to play all these games. And well, Douglas sent to Martin, I think, wore like a wire to try and like capture when he was talking to Nameless or something, to capture them in the act or whatever, talking about these issues. And this is kind of the Douglas wearing a wire type thing that has been the case for the last several years, and it's cracking meme really in the COD scene. And of course, a few days ago, we see this discussion from Clay and people talking about having a league in their circle, and you know, I know for a fact it's not coming from mine to Slasher, and well, maybe it is Doug sent to Martin all along, getting the wire out. Damn, that is crazy. Austin, it says, center along the side. And just to finish off, given we were talking about Shotzzy today, with a pretty another spectacular clip, honestly, from Shotzzy. Not just this one from from of course playing Warzone, but also there's this other one I saw of him just having a great time on stream against these other lads in Warzone, trying to convince him that he is indeed the man on the picture, winning the World Championship last year. And again, Shotzzy's stream just incredibly entertaining, and more people I'm sure are going to get their eyes on it when he joins OpTic, which we imagine is happening in just a couple of weeks' time. Who really knows when that's going to be confirmed? But very much intrigued to get your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, I'd greatly appreciate a like on the video. It really helps out the YouTube algorithm. I know you enjoy this content. Other people like you may enjoy this content as well, and I've grown the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you much as always. Take care, and I will see you next time.
Yeah.
Alright, so peep this, bro. Alright, so read my gamer tag.
Wait. Shotzzy?
What does it say right there?
Shut the nah, bro. Look at this. Nah. That's him. Stop playing. He is on the Warzone champion.
Read it out loud, bro. Read it out loud.
In the game.
Bro.
Empire. What is that? Baller?
What? Baller?
What is it?
You on Mars, bro? What?